All right. So what we're gonna do first is go back to factory. We're gonna look at that first. Okay. I hate it is so slow. I'm just gonna hide the screen. The thumbnails need to see anything. Okay. So tomorrow, literally Monday, like if you trade AUD, well, Australian dollar, then you might have something at 9:30 p.m. for the people that can't trade during New York. Tuesday, here's Mario. I let him in. Okay, yeah. Tuesday is a good day to be on the charts. Just be careful. Me personally, I don't trade right at the news. I let the news move and I see what the news is trying to do. And then I'll get on like a retest or something like that. But this one's good. So we gotta Monday, we don't really have much to worry about. Tuesday, we gotta watch and see what happens there. We could definitely find some opportunities there with the USD. I don't really trade NZD at all. Wednesday. Wednesday's full shit. Uh, and Wednesday's always a good day to trade. Thursday, we got a week full of news this week, so there's definitely going to be opportunities in the market. We are all I'm shooting for 10% this week, me personally, on prop accounts. So I'm just speaking that into existence. But literally, so I'm not going to go through here and like break down all these things here. Literally, that's something that everybody can do on their own. It really doesn't matter. All you got to do is come here and look at the forecast and wait for a red or green number over here, and then you correlate that to your news. We will have like some big class on this or a video recording so that newer people can know how to use the news to their advantage because a lot of people just don't understand it, but it's very easy. So hopefully this week we see some bounce back some of these markets. So let me go out Bitcoin here. So literally, if you're just looking at this, see how this wick it never disrespect. Oh, wait. Maybe that's a weekly one. Maybe that's a monthly fair value gap. Okay, yeah, that's my monthly fair value gap right there. That's where that was drawn. These levels are super, they hold a lot more weight than the hour and the 4 hour, right? So like if you're doing fair value gaps and stuff, you may start here and then have to refine it as you go down time frames. I just let it there. Be honest with you guys, the banks don't really look at the 1 hour, the 5 minute, and all that stuff. I'm just looking at like higher institutional levels by doing this here. Like right here, it filled in the midpoint, came back up, and then came back down and completely filled in right to this wick. Almost, not quite. It's very close. So this imbalance is considered filled in now. It was actually almost considered filled in right here at this midpoint right here. But and this is a high connect these wicks here. This was a high level of liquidity here. You can tell that this wick down here was grabbing liquidity. There was no volume that stayed down here at all. And this is also demand area right here that we did not quite hit. That's where previous buying showed up. And really look at Bitcoin. This was the structure that I was waiting for to be broken. All right. We broke that. Why am I waiting for this to be broken? Because this is high to low. Could have just came up here like this and did one of these and continued this downward trend, right? But that's not what happened. We broke this level right here. And now we have all these new fair value gaps to look at. That's what I'm looking at personally. Where are we? 4 hour. Let's go back to the daily. This fair value gap that I have drawn here is not holding up. That is done for. I'm going to be highly watching this area this week in here. I want to refine it. 4 hour. This is all I do. I go down and I just keep moving this to where it's more accurate. You also got this order block right here and a fair value gap down below. I actually like this better than this for multiple reasons here. Let me full screen this. Order block, fair value gap, right? These two wicks here are relative equal lows. If I went down time frames, equal lows right here, that's mad liquidity right there. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm no longer interested in this. And this is why I start at the top and work my way down. We also got this area right here. But if you ask me, this return into this fair value. Oh, yeah. No, look at the way that just filled that in. It did not close below the midpoint. That's the way that I like to look at fair value gaps, and whether they're valid or not is, I mean, this was valid no matter what it ran, right? But I don't see price coming back down here. This was a minor structure shift, came back in. This could have been an entry, but we didn't get it. So we got relative equal lows right here. Make that bigger. Relative equal lows right there. So that's liquidity with fair value gap right here. With this whole entire move down is a demand zone, whether you want to believe me or not. I would kind of bring it down here a little bit more. That, whether you want to believe it or not. So let me go to the 4 hour to show you why I'm saying that. So that's that entire candle right there, because time frames are different and price is kind of like subjective to what view you're looking at it on. You got to keep in mind that this is an entire down move here, and order blocks can literally be from all the way up here, the entire down move before an up move. It's not just a down candle, it's the down move, because candles are subjective and they change by time frame. So you can't just go by one candle. That's me personally. If you want to refine it, you can, but that's just bad. But if we want to add one more confluence here, I'm going to pull a fib. And that fair value gap lines right up with my kill zone. My absolute kill zone are these three right here. I don't like to go too much higher than that. These levels are right there. If anybody wants to screenshot that quick. All right, y'all should be good. Let me know. So yeah, I'm looking down here. What I'm gonna do right now, I suggest y'all do the same thing, is we're gonna set an alarm once we get into this fair value gap right here. Once we see it's coming down, that way we know to keep looking at it. Add an alert right there. Now I'm an alert. I'll be alerted whenever it gets there. We could completely I could be completely wrong, and this could just crash through all of this, right? We're gonna wait till it gets here. I'm not 100% just gonna enter when it gets here. I'm gonna see what it looks like when we get there. Okay, that's Bitcoin. Before I move on, what do y'all want me to look at?
I'd say we could look at gold. I feel gold is going to have a little bit of a retracement, and then eventually, I don't know, probably this week or next week, it should be testing the higher highs
All right, let me start big and
or
let
the
me
prior highs, I should say. Yeah.
at. All right, I'll look at UCAD and EU. All right, the gold. Scroll out. Definitely looks like it should retrace, right? Or wait, are you saying up or down? You were saying
Uh,
up, right?
Eventually, I mean, especially like like I said, no bias or nothing, but it's going to be a lot of volume this week, so I'm thinking it's going to retrace a little bit, but eventually, I think it's going to be. It looks bullish to me, so I think it's going to go to the prior highs this week, next week for sure.
All right, I got you. So what I'm looking at, just by looking at the monthly, right? I mean, I just always start at the monthly. Uh, I see this fair value gap. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive months. That's a lot. That's a lot of skyrocketing up. but we keep breaking highs here. There's no slowdown. So this is on the weeklies. Last week, kind of decisive week. I personally see trend line liquidity right here to come after. And if I was to let me get rid of this. No, so remember that this level right here is that monthly fair value gap. All right. So it's gonna look messed up here. Man zone right here. I'm not being like super picky with it. I'm just marking the general area. Real break. I mean, if it's gonna buy up,
I personally feel it'll come to the 23.46. That's where I'd be looking to get into like some buys personally. But like I said,
20,
obviously I'll
23.
see how it's wakes off the level and how it responds to the level.
You're saying below this? Hold
What is that?
below this line I'm drawing right here?
So hold on.
23.
Can you go to the 4 hour? So you see that bottom wick on a 4 hour?
This?
Yeah, yep. So that would be my first look at it. And if I see some potential buys off that, I would definitely get in. If not, my second place would be 23.406.
Okay, well
That's
that's
what
like
I'm
right
looking
here.
for.
That's like right around here.
Yeah. So either it's gonna come test the low and go to the prior highs, or it's gonna go down there and yeah. That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I
looking for.
you know what I like to do on gold personally? When
What's up?
I like to like wait for it to take liquidity and then go because it almost always takes me out if I don't wait. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So
I feel the same way with Bitcoin. That's what it does to me sometimes.
yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin does that sometimes too, but gold is the one that gets gold. I can get some great trades on gold, but then gold will just like gold is the reason for me erasing some of my profits almost every week. I'm just being real. Um,
Hmm.
so like me personally, when I trade gold, I would rather look at the daily and start. But I personally, so if there's a lot of liquidity sitting on this chart. We've just been going up and going up and going up. If we do break down, I see it just being something small like this right here,
Hmm.
equal out. I mean, look at liquidity all in the chart. It's even here, everywhere. It's here. Gold is poised for a move down, in my opinion, man. It's been going up for so long. All these equal lows, all this liquidity, trend line liquidity. Here's the thing
I
that you got.
think like
What's
I
up?
personally, I personally think, like I said, first things first, I think it's gonna test the prior highs, and then, like I said, September is right around the corner. So especially if U.S. dollar gets some strong momentum, then it's just gonna start falling from there. I think that's what it's setting up for,
Yeah, I could see it doing some shit like this. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe take those highs,
and then fall all the way down,
take a
right?
low, yep, and then
Yep,
fall, come back up here, test something here, and then boom. Before it
yep,
goes
yep,
back
yep.
up, I'm not bearish on gold. I'm just very cautious about a buy. You know what I mean? Because of how it's
Mhm.
been. But you scroll out on the monthly. I mean, look at that. We have no business really looking for sells unless we see something show us that there's, you know what I mean? Like,
For sure, for sure. You should
charts
you
just
should
go
not
here.
even think about selling this week of gold. Like I said, if it gets to the levels, just look for a buy. You should never even be in a sell this week on gold. I
If
mean,
we
unless you
come
have
in,
different strategies, whatnot.
if we come down here, if we come down here and take this, I would like to buy below this right here. This is where I would like. And this is at 23.46 level or whatever you were saying. I like this level. I could see it taking a buy from here too. But
Yep. Pretty much the same. Yeah, exactly what I was saying.
yeah, because this is a big manipulation level, and then they're gonna go down and people are gonna be like, oh, let's buy from that. But I think it's gonna take them out.
Mm-hmm.
and then go. But I could be wrong. Nothing. We literally are just speculating here on this call, or anything else.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
A lot of data this week. Yeah, man. Leslie, we were looking at that earlier on the calendar, and there's a lot of news, so there's a lot of stuff that could happen. So, all right, EU. You know what?
Before you start, personally, I feel EU is going to be a horrible market to trade this week. I was looking at it too, but I feel like Aussie is going to do very poor. So I think like Aussie US dollar is going to be a better pair to trade this week. Whoever is interested in UE.
Um,
You said
personally, man,
look into AU.
Yeah, AU.
Okay.
I think that'll be a way better because Aussie is like underperforming every pair.
Uh-huh.
So I feel that's going to be
yeah,
a
I've
very
seen
good
that. I've
yeah.
seen that it
Okay.
looks way different.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say also Aussie yen shorts, that's gonna be good too.
Okay, the
Anything against
dollar.
Aussie. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that the AUD pairs have been moving a bit slower or to the down compared to EU. Like AUD USD is definitely looking different than EU. It's just looking at the DXY, and we've been in this area for so long now. That doesn't look like consolidation because we're on the daily. I mean, to me, it's consolidation. It's not really making any ground anywhere. It's just kind of flying back and forth. Um, but we just took out this level. So on the DXY, got this fair value gap. We got an order block right here. So if we break above that, then the dollar is going to have an up week, in my opinion. If we come up and just reject like it looks like it currently is doing from that midpoint of the fair value gap, then I see the dollar going down. That's the bad thing about these pre-market calls is you can't see the price moving. But and another thing is about these pre-market calls, right? Is if don't marry any one idea. Like you got to be able to adapt. Like when I'm actually trading on Sway, I'm not marking that chart up because I don't want to stuck in that idea. Now, EU is literally just the exact opposite of the DXY. I don't really got to do anything else other than show you this fair value gap here that's just opposite of the DXY. And we just got to see what happens here. If we hold here or if we go up here. This could be a liquidity run. I mean, because highs right there, it is so easy to see equal highs. Start going through and marking them if you have trouble because like and you don't forget the wicks. But this could be a liquidity run. We just got to see where this falls. I also see a volume imbalance right here. Y'all don't know what that is? I mean, it is what it sounds like, right? It's all wicks right here. There's no bodies, no, you know what I mean? So that's a level to watch, but I wouldn't trade off of it. It depends on what it looks like when it gets there. And I mean, that's what I see personally. If I go down to the 4 hour, same thing. Levels are still the same levels. Going down isn't going to change my opinion on based on what I've already seen here. So, I mean, I'm more on the buy side for EU. Start on the monthly. First thing, definitely just been consolidating. And so, okay, let's see if this example. This looks like a rejection level right here. This big ass candle right here looks like a rejection from this level. I'm not drawing this trend line to trade off. I do not do that. I draw them to see it get taken out. I'm just marking this up because I'm sure people are looking at this as a resistance level right here. I'm not. I'm just showing y'all what I see. This definitely looks like a manipulation rate. Struggled right here. People started to sell. Then it said, hey, guess what? Boop. And then it took them out. I see sells on UCAD, definitely. I see a sell right here. This is the area I like right here. This wick came in. So let me break this down. Let me show you what I would have looked at. Like if you would have gotten this first sell. Okay. You'd have seen the manipulation, right? You see, like, look at these equal highs right here. It's so perfect. And then it just all of a sudden, boom. And then what happens when you look for a manipulation? What do I look for? I look for a structure shift. So there's literally one here. It can be a minor structure shift. It could be one here. Right? But the reason I want to use this one on time frames because this is structure on the 1 hour. Right? I mean, it's 1 hour structure. But we're literally just looking for the manipulation and then a high or a low to be violated depending on which way you're going. So literally you got the manipulation. That same manipulation also comes right back down and smashes through structure. So it takes one side, takes the other side, and then creates more liquidity here to go get later, right? And then boom, back up. This was your entry. If I go to the 4 hour, that's where you can see the beautiful entry right there, almost to the midpoint. You know what? I bet that is the midpoint. I haven't drawn it. Perfect midpoint entry right there. And then it runs through these equal lows from that entry. And now we have this imbalance left behind. And I mean, now this is kind of a reach here. I ain't gonna lie, but I see liquidity right here. Right. If I take this out a little bit, people were probably looking at this as a fair value gap to enter in right here. But that fair value gap looks like crap compared to this one up. Right. And we got all this down here to come after. And the banks ain't gonna let this go for too long. There's way too much liquidity on this chart. I just see this going down. Marquise, what was your bias on UCAD?
Actually, I entered on Friday. It was my first trade. My first trade last week. So right now I'm about. I think I hit that midpoint entry.
You got to sell.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as it's in profit, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the market to open back up. It was my little proxy order, and I wasn't. I should have got in with a higher lot size. So at this point, I'm hoping that price do pull back up, so I can, at least leverage half
More out of
percent.
it. Yeah. So I mean, as of this point, with looking at the DXY, with looking at EU, with looking at UCAD, my entire analysis is all pointing the same way. I see dollar going down, UCAD going up, EU going up. You know, and that's kind of the bias that I see this week, just from looking at the charts. I'm not going by like any of the data because I have no idea what the data is going to say. But I like UCAD as of right now. UCAD's going to be on my watch list. That shit.
You want seafood?
What's up? All right, let's move on. Anybody want me to look at any more Forex pairs? Because if not, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, look at the AU, the one he was talking about.
AUD USD. Yeah, I've been looking at this. I already took the buy side liquidity that I had marked up here. Okay. Yeah, so just look at the way AU's been going down. Let's go look at EU. Oh, that's not what I'm. EU's just been kind of holding steady. Big run up, and then we've just been kind of holding steady. Now, if I go back to AUD USD, normally these somewhat mirror each other. AUD USD has just been steady going down. But have we hit the bottom here? I don't really think so, but on the daily, and you can see what I was looking for, right? I already have it drawn up here. This is perfect Wyckoff right here, man. This freaking build up, manipulation. It's just so to be honest, I need to see a little bit more, but I mean, it looks like it's gonna buy up, but I say here, all this is already equaled out, all these other highs and lows. Retrace back here, came back up, entry right here, came back up, entry right here. That's what could happen. That's really all I see. I don't see anywhere that I really want to sell from over here unless we would get up here. We are down pretty far for me to want to get into a sell from here. One other thing that I see here is we got this high here that it's kind of resting right below. That's all I see. That line came right from the midpoint. Not do that. All right, I'm gonna move on to the indices. All right, that's what I want to do now. I'm gonna go over these, and then that's it. Because all I'm trading anymore is crypto, some gold. I'm gonna continue to look at EU and actually UCAD this week. Actually, it's not even gonna be EU this week. It's gonna be UCAD. But then the indices. Forex has just been getting on my nerves, to be honest with you. But I'm still trading it on the Forex style. So if this is following a trend, right? Everybody wanted to, I mean, I get that that was a super big decline last week, but if you just look at the chart and forget about the percentages, all this did was come back down to the last low and then buy back up on the monthly. Still, pivot point did not break the pivot point. And if you really look at this chart, a lot of times that's how it follows. Even on the downside, boom, boom, boom. If it's going to follow the trend, it normally stays within the pivot point. Like, right, pivot points are normally at order blocks. The top of that candle because that's where it started to come down. Watch my order block video if you don't understand why my mark is up here and not here on this black candle. If I go down to the daily, it's the entire down. But what we need to see on NASDAQ is some more breaks to the upside. I don't like to trade NASDAQ on Mondays. I like to see what it does. I like to see if it respects any of the last week's highs and lows. You know what? Let's mark them up right now. In the 4 hour, we need to see it break this up here. That's a long. Oh, this is a daily. The daily, we got to see it break up. That's a long base. We're going to gravitate towards this. Does not mean we're going to sell from there, but we're going to gravitate towards it. Price is always moving towards fair value gaps, liquidity, and order blocks almost all the time. It's almost always manipulating, which is grabbing liquidity, or filling imbalances almost all the time, or consolidating. Those are like the three or trending. But even when you're trending, it's still grabbing liquidity. It's still filling in imbalances. Watch the lower time frames and see what I mean. We're going to follow the trend here. Can mark this order block. It's already hit here. Okay. That order block is up way too high in this range for me to want to trade it, though. I pull the fib. Smart money fib with the 886, 788, and 718 levels. They're way down here. This order block's not even below the 50% level. Yeah, I wouldn't buy from there. I'd like to see it come down a little bit more, but we'll see what happens when it gets there. Fair value gap is right there, lining up with that, though. This is the template that I got for the week on NAS. I can't really give you any more than that. Like all I can, this is what I would do if I was looking at it. I'd look at this. I'd mark up the high, the low of last week. I'd mark up the structure that we need to be really taking out to confirm a bullish bias. Because this whole move down is from that decline last. If I pull this over, we are almost to this last low as far as a resistance point. I don't trade off a resistance. I just know how the chart moves. I watch these things. I trade the way that I trade. I don't trade off traditional support and resistance. My support and resistance are these fair value gaps and order block. But we're either going to run towards the weekly high or the weekly low. I'd like to see it go towards the high, but and yeah. So yeah, do y'all got anything else you want me to look at, or anybody else want to look at anything?
Yeah, can you look at all?
Oil, yes. Hold on,
I gotta sell on crude oil at 80.69. So I'm just gonna wait till it gets there to go for a sell.
Okay. I'm gonna start at
But
the month. What?
yeah. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna start at the monthly. What level did you say?
I got my sell at 80.69.
You have a pending order, or you already sold from there?
I have a penny order.
80.69. Okay, so that's close to, you're looking at like this order block here, maybe, or close to this fair value gap or this resistance level right here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, they're all lining up together. So regardless of why you're looking at it, I guess it doesn't matter as long as it's in the area, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. We're looking at this. I don't see anything to buy on unless we came down a little bit lower here. I see it continuing down though. And we also got,
Yeah, it's definitely a bearish market for crude oil.
yeah, we got all these highs here that we can go take out. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, we also got to watch this. It may not get up to the other level up there. But if I pull I mean, I don't take fibs as like the Bible or nothing, but I do like to check just to see how deep the retracement needs to be. Oh, wrong button. I mean, that's still within the level, but like I said, all we can do is watch. I'm definitely on the bearish side. I'm going to keep my eye on this chart. I like this. Either here or up here. There's too much liquidity right here for me to say that this is going to hold up. This is a trap right here, in my opinion. This is a trap. So many smart money traders are going to sell here tomorrow, but we should probably wait for like a Wednesday when it gets up here and then get a sell. And my sell would probably look like this. That's what my trade would look like right there. Above stop loss above this high. Because if we break above this high, I think it's going to run the rest of it. If it breaks this high, then this fair value gap don't mean shit. That's my invalidation point. Above the order block, I could even find that a little bit right there, but that's what I see. One that I really like this USD CAD. I really like this. My entry. Probably take it to at least here. Not down here to this liquidity level that's already marked. We got some opportunities this week, guys. That's for sure. Anything else?
That's pretty it on my side. But like I said, like you said, I should say, there's a lot of news, a lot of volume, so just be careful and
Yep.
definitely risk manage yourself and just trade a little bit with lower lots. How about you, Mario? Anything, Mario? Where's Mario? Mario's been quiet the whole time.
Somebody asked me if I looked at gold yet. I'll look at it really quick again. What up, Mario? You got anything? Any insight?
Nah, I'm just looking at your mark of the charts. I'm just writing down everything you come up with. On gold though, I think there should be many good entries. I have a couple of entries you guys might want to consider. I have a sell at 24.57. There's three rejections on the 1 hour chart, but you guys might consider that. And I have a buy at 24.3. You should hit sometime this week.
Are you using the sway numbers?
Sway numbers?
Like from the sway, are you
No.
trading view?
I'm on the trading view. It's- I'm
Mario,
on
you
the same
said
chart you're at,
Mario, you said buy at 24 what?
24.3.
We're like
Oh
there right
three?
now.
What's up?
We're there like right now, aren't we? Mine is saying 24.31. That's where we're at right now.
You're 24.31. So
Oh, you're
I
saying to
would
come
say,
back down and buy there.
yeah, if it comes back down to 24.3.
24.31?
No, that's where we're at now.
24.03.
03, right?
That's what he's saying.
Right there.
Mm.
24.03.
24.03. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that makes way more sense. 24.03.
Mario's a snipe king, bro.
I mean, like way down here. 24.
Yeah. I can see it coming back down.
Yeah, no, that's what
Or a
I
quick sell.
said. That's what I said too. I see it coming back down. I see it taking all these levels right here.
Yeah.
And
And if
that's an
go ahead.
go ahead. What were we gonna say?
If it goes up to 24.57, I would consider that sell at that point. It might go up to 24.60. So if you want to keep it safe between 24.57, 24.60.
Yeah, I see. That's kind of exactly like what you said, Ahmed, about going up here and then selling off and then buying back up.
Yep, yep, yep. You know, me and Mario, we have the same brain, bro. Or he copies me, I should say. I'm joking.
I like it. I mean, I do like it. It's just gold is not super clear cut for me at the moment. So I'm glad that y'all have that bias on it. I mean, we have a look for both ways.
Yeah, you
High-
know, gold is gonna move up, gold is gonna move down. But I mean, if you're looking for long term, obviously you're gonna be looking to wait till it comes back down. Like I said, for long term, I should say on the 4 hour, I would look at 23.406, come down there, and then you should be looking for a buy for like a day or two. It should be on a little bit of a bullish trend.
Yeah. Well, also, this is something I want to point out is if you're waiting for this buy, watch how price moves to get there.
Yep.
That's the only thing that I can say. Like if it just smashes towards it, I ain't buying it. If it's
Yep.
kind of slowly getting down there, like flagging its way down, I will consider it. But I see so many people see gold make these big moves, like one candle moves, like these moves, these big ass moves right here, these big moves, and then they're like, oh, let's buy it. And I mean, they might, but then they don't close it. You know what I mean? They hold it. They hold it because they're trying to go back against. Because like, what happens after an impulse, a retracement, right? And so that's trading against the trend. You don't want to be a retracement trender. You want to be a retracement trender. Wow, wow. Okay,
Nice
a
cap.
retracement trader. You want to be a trend trader. That's my or a manipulation trader, not a retracement trader though, because retracements are always lethargic. You know what I mean? And you get trapped. But
That's what they do.
yeah, if it smashes down there and it's just like boom, I'm not gonna do it. But I'm gonna watch both of these all these levels here. I'm gonna leave my charts like this. Uh, but I believe that is it. Right? I mean, I think we got opportunities this week. I think it could be good.
Definitely agree.
All right. I got this recorded. I will drop it in the Discord as soon as it's uploaded. All right, guys. Am I going live in the morning? Yes. I'm gonna be live in the morning. I mean, I'm gonna wake up at 7, look at the charts, and I mean, if there's absolutely nothing to do or look at, then I'll let y'all know. But I plan on going live at the moment. I just gotta wake up and make sure that we're not gonna be wasting our time together.
Great call. I'll see y'all in the morning.
All right, guys. Have a good Sunday.
Likewise, likewise.